out if it is the truth or if it's a lie. I'll take you at face value. Whatever you say is fine. Because money, see, even if you tell me he gave me 2,000, I will go home, I will think about brood over it. It cannot be 2,000 now. Very recently, I told the girls something that happened to me and a particular person about money. Yeah? Somebody will come and say it is 5 naira. Once later you discover it is 10. So sometimes you ask yourself, do I want to confront this person and we now go back and forth as regards how much was the money I was? See, let's just leave it. Human beings are naturally dishonest. So coming to the case of the husband and wife, he don't post the story, obviously. Yeah, he did that because at this point he found out, like they say, na person with a cash 90. Yes, that's it. Yeah. So we cannot tell if truly he didn't have his aside, if he wasn't putting something aside. As another thing again, still on money and dishonesty. Nobody ever tells you the exact amount they earn. Nobody. Except number one, you stumble upon maybe their pay slip or something. Yeah.
But I don't know how much I earn, but continue.
I don't believe you. See, I'll be honest, but who's going to believe? That's another thing, yeah. See, I work in a particular organization. I earn so and so amount. I tell people this one. I'm like close man. I see flexing on Instagram. It's a lie. People judge you from your output, how they look at you, and what they perceive. So yes, nobody would. You might be honest about how much you earn, but who believes you? That's another thing to tell. So money and dishonesty, hand in hand.
Even when you are married, I think exactly.
It is still there.
It's still there.
It's still there.
It never goes away.
I'm sure women are getting the idea that you cannot give all your 100% when it comes to marriage. You cannot give up, because at the end of the day, if the man wakes up tomorrow and says, this thing is ending, let's fold up, you will end up being the one losing. You have children. There's the story of a man, himself and his wife, they saved for so many years. She said she deprived herself of a lot of things. She was earning more than him, but she felt like, oh, let me just put this money here. You put your money. At the end of the day, we want a house of our own. She said at that point, our parents needed an apartment. Like, she was the first child of the house. She wanted to build an apartment for them, but she felt like, let me just do this. Is my family now, my husband and my kids. And then they did that for years, and then finally the building was up, and they believed in the house for 1 year, and then the woman woke up one day and found out that she woke up one day and realized and found out that this man had a girl with 2 children elsewhere. And he felt like, okay, fine, I'm bringing this woman in, like, this is my new wife right now, and this is my house, everything is in your name and my name, but I'm the man. So I'm not asking you to leave this house, I'm asking you to move to the security. The security guard apartment.
What's wrong now?
With our children.
Come on,
yes. Now, if such a woman, all the while that she was putting in all her savings in this same account with her husband, if she had 50% with this account with my husband, then this 50%
for personal
use. When she just I'm leaving yesterday.
I know what is the story. I saw a lot of fear women. Women were like, she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. Oh my God.
And I'm not saying like she did not do anything wrong. She is sure.
Please, somebody should put me right with this quote. They say desperate measures call for desperate. How do they used to say?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
See, the society that we live in now, I'm sorry to say this, women are no longer safe. So they have to protect themselves. Hold on. You can never tell. Like Esther's example, yeah? You can never tell when a man will go gaga. Yeah, he's loving, he's all bad, and all that. Say for rainy days. An example too, you can't
tell when women will go gaga.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, you can never tell when a woman will go gaga. Do you know at the end of the day, like Esther said, the women will lose. Wakes up one day now. Wakes up one day now, just like Esther says, I'm not going again, I want to divorce. And then at the end of the day, we here in Nigeria, we don't really do the whole divorce. Is it don't really do it like that. You don't really do it judiciously. And then at the end of the day, you're thrown out of the house with nothing, and then maybe your children are with you. And then you're like, you're starting the world afresh. But that's behind, or somewhere you already saved up money to push your life well.
Let's not forget that the society we live in, especially this Nigerian African traditional society, does not really favor women.
It doesn't.
Woman, it is wrong.
Wait now, wait.
You are supporting the men. Maybe
This is my sister's example.
I'm not
you're in a position where you have to be dishonest to save yourself. Will you be honest or dishonest?
No, it has not come to that.
You have to be dishonest to save your life.
Programs don't go.
Excuse me. At the end of the day, see, save yourself first. If you're ever going to come to an agreement with your husband, honey, let's do this. See, look for a plan B for yourself. Let the plan A work. The plan A is working for you and your husband, but look for a plan B.
Because it's a different story, like it's a different picture. How about say the savings was for a house? Even though people tell me, a man has told me this before, that man and woman only contribute money to buy land because when they write the receipt is somebody's name. But how can we change that? And it is Mr. and Mrs. that is on the property. So that in the event that these things happen,
My name is Sarah. The man's name is Omorogbe. At the end of the day, you have Mr. and Mrs. Omorogbe. So people will tell you where is Sarah on the list. Okay.
Oh well.
Where is Sarah on the list?
That's a
you
point.
see the man's name at the end of the day, Mr. and Mrs. Omorogbe.
wait, it is Mr. and Mrs. In this case was me, wasn't it?
Really? African tradition will tell you that as long as you are marrying Mrs. in the picture, this man is the head. He can decide what he wants to do with this. So, Auntie Lelo,
Mr. Smith and Mrs. Orlando.
It's his name Smith.
I'm giving you an example. Mr. Smith and Mrs. Orlando. So I don't want to come to sharing the property. They know that her name is there.
This is a movie. This is a movie where I've forgotten what it was called. It wasn't Duplex. It was a movie where the couple, they were married and then they divorced, and both of them did not want to let go of the house because they had put like personal effects in the house.
Yeah.
They own the property together. They decided to demarcate it down the middle. The part you like, you stay in. That's it. So when the woman started seeing other people, it then became a problem, and that was how they were able to now work on their marriage and come back together. You know, and remarry.
Let's come back to this story that we are talking about. You are supporting dishonesty. You answer that.
I'm against dishonesty. Sorry. It's dishonest.
it is not though.
It's not dishonest. When you go to the comment section of that story, you'll see that people are saying, "Oh, she get 90%. She get most of it." She get. My point is, it wasn't most of it that was the agreement before you got married.
Everything. She's been saying for 4 years. 19%.
Me, I'm still coming back to the fact that when it comes to money, people are naturally dishonest. It is in everyone's. I don't know really what to say. It is there for everyone. Yeah. It doesn't matter how much. See, the only reason they could have found a middle ground or whatever to this story is the fact that he brought his paycheck and got my paycheck. We know how much is on it. Since that didn't happen, dishonesty would definitely take place. Because see, even she who committed whatever it is that she committed and the guy is pissed off about really doesn't know how much her husband earns. She doesn't know as well.
That's what I
You
want.
don't know how much you earn.
If you want to
You don't know how much you earn. Yes, paycheck. Look at it.
bring my paycheck.
We don't know how much they earn.
Bring out this bank statement. Let us know how much
Than men when it comes to talking about money in a relationship.
Wait,
really. Anymore. Statement.
Yeah.
If you bring the Bible, will you swear on it? Just saying.
The money that belongs to the women. They'll tell you, honey, I did this. Can I? Honey, can I? Honey, can I? It's always, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have that? And at the end of it, they'll say, these women are like money.
Well, yeah, from where she's coming from, we can also talk about the fact that most men borrow money and never pay back.
Married women out there, they'll tell you, might tell me that just hide the money. They hide money.
If you have
Money.
Yeah.
The moment you have that money, tables are shaking. Don't even share the story. My sister and her husband, I'm sorry I'm bringing them in now. The man said, okay, I'm handling this project. For now, fund the family. Fund the family was taking like forever. My sister was not like, when is this project ending? When is this project ending? You're getting your, he was getting used to the fact that she was taking care of all things and all that. And then she now realized that whenever his mom calls for money, now the money will come out, 100K will come out. But when it started, that only support, no, I told you I'm doing this project. I don't even have the 20K. She now said, no problem. You see this money. You see this your project, you will end it by force. She just to pay their son's school fees. He was waiting for her to pay. She paid the first one, paid the second one, the third one. She now said, this one, you see this project that your father is doing, this project will end with this your school fees. So she went to school, paid the fees, and told the teachers, like, when it's 9 a.m., send this boy back home. They should bring the boy back home with school bus. So they brought the boy back home. The man was shocked, like, really? You have not paid? No money.
Such embarrassing. They can't
Guess what? He went to school that day, made the payment,
and she won't collect the money.
No, hold on. I'm also going to talk about a particular friend of mine. Stagger, you know the story from that 500 kgs. This friend of mine used to, her husband is quite wealthy, yeah, but his legs were in a lot of places he weren't supposed to be. Yeah, but
having different branches.
yeah, different branch at the moment. Same thing. They're building a house, so the project is too much. So can you handle the family and stuff? So okay, no wahala. She tried her party and she noticed that man, instead of him to focus on building the house, the branches were.
You know.
So she said, okay, no problem. He will come and he will drop money for maybe keep the money in the house for the projects and all of that. Or when the engineer comes, give him so money. Until we leave 500K, babe, how far? Where you dey? I said, why don't you put it? My husband knows how much is in the account. I bet me they keep under your bed.
Exactly.
That's her still keeping money for her. She was hey, the sister I want to do. I bet give me 200K.
This not right to you.
Just a minute. This isn't about being right or wrong. Really, it's none of my business. Yeah, a friend gave me money.
He needs the money. She don't know what she's going through. You can for your
Let's go and come back. I cannot do this.
Be God win you. We not go for any other person. If it not be PDP, we don't go for any of that party. We don't go for. Okay, make you carry your ticket. Okay, I say carry your ticket. Any day between day and day we go. Anywhere side we go, anywhere we go. Okay, make you carry your ticket. Okay, make you carry your ticket. Anywhere between day and day we go. Anywhere side we go, anywhere we go. Okay, make you carry your ticket. Okay, make you carry your ticket. Anywhere between day and day we go. Anywhere side we go, anywhere we go.
It has been weeks and months now since the coronavirus, known as COVID-19, infected the whole world, bringing with it pains, grief, and bitterness, causing panic and confusion. Beware, coronavirus is real. Help yourself and those around you by washing your hands with soap, sanitize regularly, disinfect all surfaces, wear face mask always, check your body temperature often, avoid crowd and close contact with people, keep physical distancing, seek medical attention immediately if you feel sick. If need be, stay home to stay safe. In case of any suspicious case, report to the Ministry of Health or NCDC. This message is brought to you by the Catholic Bishops of Italy and Salesians of Don Bosco, Nigeria.
My brother, please, we need solar power in our house. NEPA only gives us like 3 hours at night and 3 hours during the day.
That's true, but Zabron Solar has solar packages tailored to your needs. We can deploy to you today solar inverters, charge controllers, and mono solar panels along with deep circle gel batteries. We also have in stock solar street lights and solar freezers. Our 1,000 watt inverter still sells for around 110,000 naira. The 2,000 watts model sells for 150,000 naira, and the 3,000 watts model is under 175,000 naira. Our deep circle gel battery is under 123,000 with warranty. What is more, we offer flexible payment and lease to our own terms. Come to our showroom today at Didio Plaza 62 Oko Central Road by Gapiona Junction, GRA Benin City, or shop online at www.zabronsolar.com. You can also reach us on 0816 932 2857. Zabron Solar, energy you can rely on.
92.7 KUFM. 92.7 KUFM News.
We are live from Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News around the world.
Good afternoon and welcome to KUFM's News Around the World. First, the headlines. Malian President Ibrahim Keita resigns. President Donald Trump to deliver convention speech from White House. Colombian former president resigns as senator after house arrest. Details of these and more after this break. I am Omoye Ogbede. Malian President Ibrahim Keita on Wednesday said he was resigning to avoid bloodshed hours after his arrest by troops of a sudden coup that followed months-long political crisis in the fragile West African nation. Rebel soldiers detained the president and prime minister Bobo Cisse on Tuesday afternoon and drove the pair to a military base in the town of Kati, near the capital Bamako, which they had seized that morning. Jubilant crowds in the city center gathered to demand Keita's resignation had cheered the rebels as they made their way to the 75-year-old's official residence. Keita appeared calm as he appeared in a state television broadcast after midnight to declare the dissolution of the government and National Assembly and said he had no choice but to resign with immediate effect. However, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has condemned the military push coup in Mali, a military coup in Mali, and pledged a range of retaliatory actions actions, including financial sanctions. I take that again. However, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has condemned the military coup in Mali and pledged a range of retaliatory actions, including financial sanctions. In a statement, ECOWAS said that its members would close land and air borders to Mali. The 15-nation bloc, which includes Mali, also said it would suspend the country from its internal decision-making bodies. Mali has been in the grip of a deep political gridlock since June, with President Keita facing persuasive demands for his resignation. And the police in Ivory Coast have arrested a man who allegedly set buses on fire last week during mass protests in the commercial capital Abidjan. The violent protest had been going on for weeks since the ruling party nominated Alassane Ouattara as to seek re-election in the third term. The Directorate of Police announced on Facebook that the suspect was arrested after members of the public reported him. He was found with a can of diesel and admitted to setting several vehicles on fire with 4 of his friends. President Ouattara had ruled out running for re-election and reconsidered after his preferred successor, Prime Minister Amadou Gon Coulibaly, who had been nominated by the ruling party, died unexpectedly of a heart attack last month. United States President Donald Trump, who used the White House to deliver a partisan political speech to the Republican National Convention next week. President Trump will be formally nominated by the party next week, and he is due to give his acceptance speech at the end of the 4-day convention, which is taking place mostly online due to the coronavirus pandemic. During a visit to Arizona, Trump confirmed he will make the speech from the South Lawn of the White House on Thursday. The move to hold the speech from the White House is unconventional and does not have a precedent in the television era. White House legal advisors have approved the speech, noting the laws that prohibit politics in the executive branch do not generally apply to the president himself. Colombian former President Álvaro Uribe, who is being held under house arrest and accused of fraud and witness tampering, announced on Tuesday that he would be resigning from his senatorial post. In a letter to Congress, the influential former leader said his decision was because it was impossible to return to the Senate, a post he has held since 2014 due to the procedure launched against him. The 68-year-old, who heads the Democratic Center of current President Ivan Duque, previously resigned in July 2018 after the Supreme Court summoned him. He allegedly did so in an attempt to escape investigation by the Supreme Court, which is the only body with judicial jurisdiction over legislators. In his letter, Uribe complained about the violation of 8 procedural guarantees and claims to have been the victim of illegal and malicious wiretaps. And President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus has accused his opposition of trying to stage a coup amid widespread anger over a disputed election. The opposition contested the official results of the August 9th poll, which gave Lukashenko 80% of the vote. The country has since seen 10 days of street protests and strikes. The protesters allege massive vote rigging and say the winner was opposition candidate Tihana Shavaya, who officially secured only about 10% of votes. Hundreds of protesters have been wounded and 2 have died in clashes with police during the post-election protests. And the heavy monsoon rains across India has triggered floods and landslides, killing as many as 868 people across several states. The season lasts from June to September and wreaks havoc across the South Asia every year. The flooding in recent days has seen houses swept away and agricultural crops destroyed in various regions. Millions have been affected, with many stranded in fast-flowing floods. Rescue teams have been deployed to the worst affected regions. The Indian Meteorological Department has warned that more heavy rains are expected in the northwestern regions of the country. And that's KFM's news around the world, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. President Ibrahim Keita resigns. President Donald Trump to deliver a convention speech from White House. And Colombian former president resigns as senator after house arrest. Do remember that to continue unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Coronavirus is real. Wash your hands regularly with soap under running water and use your face masks while in public places. Stay safe. KFM's News Around the World was produced by Jennifer Oyana. I am Omoyo Ogwede saying thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
105.7.